I just want to make sure that everyone can see and hear me clearly. The uncle in the pink over there, can you hear me? Okay. Well, I'm here to share my experience of packing my entire life of 18 years in Dubai in this suitcase. It's something all of you are going to experience in a few months' time. And I thought I'd begin by just showing you this. I'm going to talk about that. Well, that video was somewhat exaggerated, but there was one part which was definitely true, because I still have a little statue of my Ganpati on my study desk back in my room in Durham. So today evening, I'm here to talk about accommodation, food, and something very, very important, medicines. So let's get straight to it. How to pick the right accommodation for yourself? You all are all in the process of doing that, I imagine, and the answer to that is quite simple. Location. Everyone might have told you about this, but what exactly does it mean? It might mean different things for different people. For example, you might want to be close to the lecture rooms because back in school, we were so used to having our classes all under one roof. Whereas in university, you have to move across different buildings to attend your classes. You might want to be close to the library because trust me, your dorm rooms are not going to be quiet, and at times you need that safe haven of silence and to be able to concentrate on your work. You might want to be close to the supermarket or your favorite restaurant for those late night cravings you might have. And for those of you who like to keep fit and exercise every day, I would definitely consider being close to a gym. I learned this the hard way. Durham was extremely cold in the winters in the first 3 months I went there. And when your accommodation is 20 minutes away from your lecture sites, you have to learn to brave through the snow. And I just want you all to be prepared. And if there's an easy way out of it, is to try and secure an accommodation which is centrally located. Also, you might want to be close to them. Other things to consider are whether the accommodation offers, like most accommodations do, so I wouldn't ask you to worry about this at all. It is high-speed Wi-Fi, heating, electricity, water. Water can just be had from the tap, so that's not something to worry about, and it's perfectly safe to drink. A personal experience of mine would definitely be with the heating. So my accommodation was quite an old building, and machine was only switched on for twice during the day. And considering that we're from Dubai, not used to the cold, I felt I used to pretty much freeze in my room. So I bought a little portable heater for myself just to keep comfortable. And I'm sure that most universities will be fine, but it's a thing to just consider looking at. Moving on. Let's say you've picked the right accommodation, you've got the right accommodation. You obviously want to carry stuff to be comfortable. The answer to that is not everything. Here are a few things I feel you essentially need to carry while you're packing. From Dubai, definitely carry 3-month stock of medication, regular clothes, an extension cord, and another extension cord. Because your room is just going to have 2 sockets, and we have so many gadgets. And plus, I made the mistake of carrying 5 meters of fairy lights just because I wanted to make my room look all nice, and 2 sockets didn't do the trick. So definitely carry not just 1 but 2 extension cords to be comfortable. Once you reach there, like Ms. Shanti mentioned, please consider looking at the winter clothing out there because for 3 reasons really. 1, it'll save you on space. 2, the student discounts are amazing out there, so definitely you would get really nice winter clothing. And 3, it's usually the clothes over there are designed for that weather. So consider looking at the winter clothing there. And if there's a brand I would suggest, it would be Superdry, because I have my coat from there and it has undergone several days of snow and rain and is in perfectly good condition. So please consider going to Superdry and checking that out. Another thing I found was lacking in my room was good lighting. Considering the amount of screen time we all do and hopefully reading, please make sure that you have good lighting in your room because you are going to spend a lot of time on your laptops and reading as well. Like I mentioned earlier, it won't be the case for most of you, but the heating in my room wasn't as great, so I bought a portable heater. Things such as bed sheets, towels, pillows, please do not make the mistake of carrying it from here. You get amazing deals at Amazon Prime, or you could just make a trip out of it, go to IKEA, and you get really nice pre-packs for students because they understand that that's the season everyone is going to get their stuff. So don't make the mistake of carrying stuff from here. I've mentioned this whole list of things, and I'm pretty sure that each one of you would have a lot more to add on to that. But please remember that your room is going to be more than less than half your room in Dubai. So carry all you want, but just please make sure that nobody likes a very cluttered room. So that's one thing I got quite a shock from. Sorry, wrong slide. I have a question. What item do you think in my room proved to be the most useful? I have 4 options for you. 1, a shataf. I hope all of you know what that is. Does anyone not? It's a little spray next to your toilet. B, snacks from my mom. C, door stopper. D, safety box. I'm going to give you 10 seconds and then all of you guys can vote.
Door stopper.
Safety box. Anyone else? The answer is a door stopper. I accidentally purchased it actually. The only reason I got it was to make sure that I could carry all my stuff comfortably in and out while moving. moving because I had to empty my room off at the end of every dorm, and I felt the best way to do that was get a door stopper rather than constantly opening and closing my door while I moved stuff in. But it just so happens that when I was moving my stuff in and had my door wide open, people just peeked in, and that's how I made my friends. Like, till date, I have one of my friends who I just made when they just peeked in through my door while I was moving in. And I definitely consider getting a door stopper because it shows you're open to making new friends. And it's just a very welcoming gesture as soon as someone passes by. A part of your room is going to be your bathroom. So I'm not trying to say what you should do or what you shouldn't do, but it's something you're going to go through every day. So just make sure you learn how to clean it. Cleaners will come and clean it once in every 2 weeks, but I just suggest that you do learn how to do it, as nice as that doesn't sound. It takes less than 5 minutes to learn, so definitely consider doing that. Moving on to something more exciting, food. I mean, we all first eat, and then we do everything else, don't we? So I'm guessing most of you all have opted for on-campus food, and I'd like to share my experience of what I found was good versus what I found wasn't that great. So definitely it was the ease of it, and the fact that you don't have to put in any effort, that was great. And besides that, it was definitely a time to socialize with my friends. I mean, at the end of the day, you would come and eat your meals with your friends. So it was definitely nice to be able to do that. On the flip side, food wasn't as great. For some reason, in the UK, vegetarian just equals potato and cheese. And the chicken is not seasoned. And like, I don't know if you can see the image clearly, but I don't even put salt and pepper on that. And I definitely struggled with that initially. And the other downside is usually the meals are only for they're only served at fixed periods of time. So you might have some other commitments such as lectures, and you might not make it. So you don't want to be left with no food, do you? So that's one downside of it. But if you hate campus food and you can't cook to save your life and you're on a budget, what do you do? Just call Modi, I think he'll take care of it. I'm just kidding. There are several options available to you. So across all supermarkets, there are student deals which are available, such as you can get a sandwich, a snack, and a drink, all under 20 dirhams. Or if you're ever craving some Indian food or local food, it will all definitely be available at the supermarket. And besides on-campus food, a lot of universities offer off-campus meal cards, which basically just require you to top up the card, and you can avail of getting food from several restaurants or even buying your groceries from different supermarkets. Also, you can still order in your food, you can still explore the local eateries out there, but the downside is definitely it's more expensive on an everyday basis. For those lucky few who know how to cook and enjoy cooking, I wouldn't worry about carrying all your utensils, such as your pots and your pans from you. Please do not make the mistake of doing this. I personally have purchased all my cooking utensils from Amazon itself. It's delivered right to your doorstep, and it saves you a lot of space. And they're of very good quality, so I wouldn't worry about that either. I've been using mine for over a year, so please don't worry about that. If there's one thing I would suggest getting, it would be a pressure cooker. And Preferably, it definitely should work on induction rather than a naked flame, just because most of the cookers are electric based. So just keep that in mind while you get the pressure cooker. And finally, about medicines. I didn't believe it, but Thrasher's flu is real. So please be prepared for it. And I've listed a couple of common medications you can carry. And I carry this myself. I face no problem at the airport at all. So if you'd like to note these down, I think Mrs. Shanti will put up the slides for you as well. So don't worry about that. And something common in the UK is hay fever. I mistakenly identified it as a common cold, and I was medicating myself wrongly for it for like a week until my friend was just like, "You have hay fever, you don't have a cold." These medications are easily available over the counter, and another thing not to worry about, they're very reasonable, and just go to a local pharmacy and you would get them easily. I'd like to end by saying that I've told you a lot about what to do, what to not do, and at the end of the day, I just want to say that all of you have got this. You have worked so hard, and you're going to have an amazing time out there, so please don't worry about it, and good luck. Thank you.